was likely to happen. The reaction was enormous. Let's find out what the reaction is today. Dan Graziano, Damien Woody, Mel Kiper Jr. are with us early this morning. Graz, I'll start with you. What more can you tell us? Again, Shefty tells us the contract is signed. What do we know?
Yeah, look, Tebow is going to go out there and try and make the team as a tight end. My understanding is that he's taking it seriously, regardless of how anyone else is taking it, and he's going to try and have a little sort of second career here in the NFL at a different position. You know, Urban Meyer obviously coached him in college, so there's the connection there, and it's, you know, the perception around the league is that Meyer is doing a favor for his guy, giving him a shot, and that there's some that think that Meyer is trying to sort of deflect attention away from Trevor Lawrence as he heads into his first training camp. I'm not sure why that would be necessary, but there's a lot of theories as to why this is happening. Very few people think it's going to work, but Tim Tebow is certainly among those that do, and at least he's going to give it his best shot.
The skepticism dripping literally from every word of that reporting from Dan Graziano pretty much tells you everything that you need to know about the way most people view this. So Damien Woody, I mean, I'm looking at Mel already shaking his head, but D. Wood, I just take me inside that locker room now. You're a player on the Jaguars, and this guy, and Tim Tebow comes running out onto the field with all of the history that is involved here. What thoughts going through your mind, D. Wood?
I don't give a damn, basically. Like, if you're not a good player, players are not going to follow you. See, that's what's missing in this whole equation. You're talking about a guy who's, 33 years old, who's playing a totally different position, and there's some people out there that think that, all these guys are going to gravitate and follow him. That's not how it works in professional sports. It doesn't work that way. Like, you got to be a really good player, first and foremost, in order for guys to even attempt to follow you as a player. So this is a Herculean challenge for a guy like Tim Tebow at this point in his athletic career to go change positions and all of a sudden try to help change the culture in Jacksonville. Call me a skeptic.
All right, so that's 2 votes for a skeptic. Mel Kiper, what do you think?
I saw Tim Tebow catching balls prior to a game really early on, Greeny. I said before he became an NFL player, this is back in Florida, he should be an H-back. And I remember Tim came on the radio with me and said, Mel, I'm a quarterback. If you like me touching the ball, why not if I touch the ball on every play? I said, no, as an H-back, not a quarterback. So he says he's serious now. I wish Tim would have been serious at age 22, not at age 34, which you will be when this season begins. The Jacksonville Jaguars and Urban Meyer don't need any stunts. They don't need any gadget plays. They don't need anything to bring attention to their team. They don't need anything to get the attention of the fans, to get fans to come out and watch the Jaguars. That's why you have Trevor Lawrence. That's why you took the job. You have a team that had a good draft, a team that has some talent, has a great young quarterback. Why would you want to bring that traveling circus to your town with all eyes and all the talk about Tim Tebow, who at age 34 can't be a major asset to a football team? Like I said, I wish you would have taken it seriously then. With the Jets, he looked like a fish out of water playing that position. And now all of a sudden at age 34 coming up, he's going to be able to come into the NFL and be an H-back. Good luck.
Yes, those are the different pieces of this, D. Wood. I mean, there's the football piece of it, which is, I don't think that, I've not heard from anyone who believes he has a real chance to be an impactful player at the position. There's the leadership piece of it. If Urban Meyer is trying to create a culture and thinks Tim Tebow is someone who can help him create the culture that he wants, can he do that?
No, he can't do that, Greeny. Like, the biggest thing, if you're going to be a guy who's going to be a leader, you got to be a good player. That's the whole thing. You can't be a guy who's a second, third team guy, or a guy who's on the bubble as far as the roster concerned. If you first and foremost, you got to be one of the best players on the team. You got to be a guy that excels either on offense, defense, or on special teams. That's it. You can't be a bubble guy and then be all of a sudden this cultural leader that's going to Galvin, that's going to bring everybody together. It just doesn't work that way. You have to be good somewhere on that team, and that's why I said I'm a skeptic as far as this whole circus with Tim Tebow.
And so, Dan Graziano, what happens now? He goes to the off-season program. What happens?
Well, again, he's going to try and learn the tight end position on the fly in an NFL, OTA, mini camp, training camp situation, and there'll come a time in early September where the Jaguars have to cut their roster down, and I would think the expectation would be he would be among those cuts. But again, Greeny, I mean, he thinks he can do it. Leadership, guys following him. Best case scenario, he's the third string tight end. I don't recall a lot of teams in NFL history where the third string tight end was the leader, was the culture setter. It's got to be Trevor Lawrence's team going forward. But, Tebow's, like I said, he's going to give it a shot. I guess it would be a pretty big upset if he pulled it off.
Well, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then Damien Woody just wrote a book. Mel, give us a very quick final thought.
It's got to be the GM saying no, Urban. And that's, again, where Urban's kind of doing the thing down there. He's saying, okay, let's go back to my Florida days. This is a great leader, great energy. He's going to be. The GM's got to say no. Bill Polian or somebody strong, a veteran GM, a Hall of Fame GM's there. He's not coming to your football team.
Okay, we will leave that thought there. Damien Woody, just hold that face. We're coming back to it as we continue this morning. But hold on. We have another topic worthy of leading the show. I'm going to flash back with you all the way to Tuesday when Spencer Turnbull of the Tigers threw the 5th no-hitter of the Major League season. And then yesterday, Buster Olney came on this show and said this.
All these no-hitters. 5 this year. The record in any season is 8. And the general manager told me at the beginning of April that we might see 15 to 20 this year. It looks like he could be dead on.
Well, it looks like Buster might have been dead on because we had another no-hitter last night. It was the no-hitter of the night. If it's a day of the week that ends in Y, it's going to have a no-hitter. And oh, by the way, Corey Kluber, it was his bobblehead last night. Bobblehead night on the road. He pitched for Texas 1 inning last year, but they had all the bobbleheads hanging out. So he comes in as a Yankee. They gave out the bobbleheads, and then he was dishing out Ks. You see him striking out people left and right. He would go to the 9th with no hits allowed in a 2-0 game. The leadoff hitter in the 9th, Charlie Culberson. DJ LeMahieu, right place, right time. We're 2 outs away from another no-hitter. The next batter is David Dahl. David Dahl smashes one to right. On his horse is Tyler Wade. He's going to make the catch. We were 1 out away. And the next batter is Willie Calhoun. Here we go for history, at least for the moment. Gleyber Torres. There it is. The 12th no-hitter in Yankees history. The 6th no-hitter of this baseball season. Kluber, 1 walk, 9 Ks, no hits. Yankees win it by a score of 2-0. Kluber is the 4th pitcher to throw a no-hitter this month. It's just the 2nd month ever in which there were 4 no-hitters. The 6th this season are the most ever before June 1st. Do you think this is great? If you do, Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw disagrees. Here's what he says.
Well, it's not good. I'll tell you that. I think whatever the intention was with the new ball or whatever it may be, it really hasn't done anything. No-hitters are cool, and I have all the respect in the world for Corey Kluber and Baum and all those guys that have thrown no-hitters. But to have one happen every night, it seems like is probably not good for the game.
Probably not good for the game, says Clayton Kershaw. What does Buster Olney say?
He is absolutely dead on. And you hate the fact that this whole conversation about diminished offense and dominant pitching takes away from an accomplishment of someone like Corey Kluber, a former Cy Young Award winner, battled his way back from injuries, and then looks like he's rebuilding his career with the Yankees, has a dominant night. But the fact is, within the sport, it is a major concern. The league-wide batting average right now, 236. That's on pace to be the lowest in the modern era. The league-wide strikeout rate, 9.2 per 9 innings. That is the highest since the modern era. This is a major